Howdy, practical patriots and practical preppers. Yocho to Gruss aus Texas. Hey, folks, John Practical Nurse. So, a company called MidTen got a hold of me and asked me if I could do a review on one of their products, and I said sure. So, what they sent me was this right here. Basically, it's an optic MidTen 2 MOA mount, black, new, made in China. So, let's open the box and see what you got here. Got our optic inside this plastic bag here. Nice little silica gel there to keep it nice and dry and whatnot. Got lens covers. This kind of looks familiar. I believe I've seen this optic somewhere before, but notice there is no markings or anything on it. What else we got in the box? Looks like we got lens cap covers here. Looks like we got a riser. Looks kind of like a weaver type. Interesting. All right, got a riser there, about an inch, I would say. And got, if I get my thumb in there and pull that out there. Looks like we got instruction book. Always read your instructions, okay? Film through there, and looks like we got Allen key, comes in very handy, lens cloth, and not one but two CR2032 batteries. That's what I call them. 3-volt. I believe it only requires one, but let's check, of course, our instructions and make sure that's correct. Like I said, this kind of looks vaguely familiar to me. Let me check something, and I will be right back. Bingo. I thought this looked familiar. Okay. Let's flip this over, though. Notice, like I said, there's no writing on this. On this one, it's the Bushnell. Okay, but if you go and look on Amazon or someplace else, this Bushnell is about, what now, 60 bucks or so, the TRS 25, I believe. And this one has no label. I want to say this is listed on Amazon, and I'll try to include the link in the item description for about $40, so about $20 cheaper. But how will it hold up? Well, when a company asks me for my fair, honest review, I will put it through what I call my homestead defense fair, honest review. I have certain things I do to make sure it holds up. Stand by. Let's go over some of the features just on the surface here alone. You got your battery compartment, turn counterclockwise. And I already took a battery out of this thing, put it in here. You want to keep your positive part of the battery up towards the cap. Just kind of very gently get that threaded, get her started, put that on there. And you'll notice here, see the 0, and there's a little dot right next to it. That means it's off, okay? So I actually like this because you can actually turn it to 11 to its brightest point. The brightest, this is a red dot, the brightest dot you'd use for, if it's really bright outside, bright and sunny, and as you turn that thing down, you would use like the lower numbers, for low light. Kind of like that. And as I've said, this is 2 MOA. And let me just turn that off real quick. 0, of course, off. And then you got your elevation right here, adjustment. Take the cap off. See if we can get in a little right there. Notice it says up. Right there. Has an arrow. And then we'll take the windage cap off. And if you look really, if I can get this to adjust right there, there's an R right there pointing with an arrow. So if you need it to move to the right, you just kind of click, turn it counterclockwise there. Alrighty. Pretty much about it for the surface. You know, you have, of course, you need an Allen key here. Put this on your rail to mount it up. And so what we're going to do is I'm going to put this on the roughest, tumblest rifle I have, because if it can survive that, by golly, it'll work. Now, like I said, this kind of looks like a Bushnell clone to me. A little less expensive if you get it on Amazon. But let's see how well she holds up.
And here is our test rifle, the Romanian Wasser. The rifle that every AR purist in the known world has stated will spontaneously explode if you look at it hard enough, on a range occupied by little old ladies trying to learn to defend themselves against carjackers, purse thieves, and home invaders. So here goes our first test. I really do feel sorry for this poor optic. Here is some of the nastiest water you ever saw. I left the red dot on. Let's take it back over here to the shooting range. Stand by while I clear the rifle here, make sure there's nothing in there. Let's see if that red dot is still functioning. Gonna have to look at this for myself. And I can attest to you, I don't know if y'all can see it on here because it's very bright and 96 degrees out here. That red dot is still working. Hope y'all can see that. All right, next test. Our next test, we're gonna drop this thing. I hope you can see me from there. We're gonna drop this optic just like this from about chest height. Okay, so since Central Texas has got a lot of dirt, let's try that one more time, because there's nothing other than having a little dirt on there, and if it can't get dirty, it doesn't need to be on an AK, does it? Here we go, let's try it again. Chest level. Still no damage. However, I zeroed this rifle right before I did this part of the video because I wanted to get that out of the way. Didn't want to bore you with that, but let's see if she can still hit a target. Hold on. You see the still hanging target downrange? Well, here we go. Let's see if she held zero. Get out of y'all's way here. Range, by the way, is a little more than 25 meters. Seems to be just fine. Okay. So downrange, I put one of these BC-27 targets downrange. You're probably familiar with this kind of a silhouette type target. My goal is to always get within the 9, okay? I'd like to hit the X, okay, but hit within the 9. Why is that? Because the 9 fits the exact amount of surface space as my hand. Try it out one of these days. Here we go. Just gonna do some in sitting position, y'all. See, kind of this is more or less kind of a test for me as a shooter. Just take
taking 3 shots off here, and let's go see how well that worked. Let's take a walk down range. Put you on pause for a second, and we'll go have a look at that target. So range of target was 25 meters, and therein is the accuracy of said optic. MidTen, red dot, no magnification, old man shooter. And that's what we got. And let me show you this little target right here, okay? And there's that one that we were shooting. But let me show you something. Set the rifle down. What I was explaining about size here, okay? That's my hand, all right? So it fits within the 9. Put your hand on your chest and see what kind of area that kind of encompasses. And that's why I tell people, do your best to hit within the 9. Not bad, I hit within here. With a budget optic, okay? On a Romanian Wasser. I want you to see this. If you look carefully, right down that optic. All right, let me just turn the light back on so you can probably see, but notice it's got that little circle of blurriness or shaded. I call that a cataract, being a medical person. This thing, from when I stopped shooting, cleared the rifle and brought it over here to sit down in the shade, has developed a cataract. So, what is the issue with that? To me, that would render an optic not usable, you know, just no. How about just no? So I'm going to reach out to the folks at MidTen and see if they can explain it to me, or maybe they'll send me another optic. But I would consider that a bust. I wouldn't, that to me, that optic would become useless. It'd be rendered useless like that because you can't see what you're shooting at. You know, yes, you still have a dot there. The dot still functions after everything I put it through, but it's developed that cataract, that little circle of blurriness there. Tell me what y'all think. Questions, comments, leave them below. Until I see y'all again, I'm Johnny the Practical Nurse. Try to save y'all some money and show y'all some decent equipment, but I'm gonna I hate to say this, but I'm gonna have to call this one a bust. If it's on the first try, does that, we'll call that a bust. Till I see y'all again, I'm Johnny Practical Nurse. Send me your optics. Send me what you got. I'll give it a try. Salute. Out here.